Right, let's do this. I've been meaning to do this for years. So, people have seen this before, but this is the first time review, and people have been asking for wash cycles in it, which will come, don't you worry. I have been filming. I filmed 2 years ago, and since then it's kind of been moved around. Welcome to my Miele Honeycomb Drum W487WPS. It's a Novotronic of the range, and it's near enough the top of the range, but not quite, because the Navitronic was higher. This was purchased back in 2002 for £1,069. Yeah, a lot of money. So what do you get for that money? Well, considering back in the day you were up against Hotpoint Aquarius WMA range, which I've done wash races against, and this Beko here, which was £199, 5 times more. Well, reliability wise, that Beko there has had its first fault in 15 years, and this Miele has never ever gone wrong. Well, as far as I'm aware. I bought it fully working, and it does have a minor problem, which it's happened during my time since I've had it, but you're gonna see that in a minute. Yeah, you're gonna laugh at it. So it's worth watching this. It's quite funny. So, right, I purchased this used from eBay and collected it, and they replaced this, even though it was fully working, with a 7kg Beko washing machine. And I was like, why? Why have you done that? Because of course the 7kg drum's probably about the same size as this, and of course probably takes 3 times longer, like any Beko does. Because that's the beauty of this machine. It's its speed of washing. And then there's the quality of the results. Now trust me when I say this, that Miele may cost a lot of money, but results wise, I always seem to get perfect results from it. Even from my Miele Professional at home, I always seem to get perfect results, even if it uses minimal water. I don't know how it does it, but it does, and that's why I love it. Also, the door seal is mold resistant. Obviously it can't resist rust. There are rust stains on there, which I will show in a minute, but there was mold starting to grow in there because it hadn't been used for like 18 months and the filter had never been emptied of its water. And of course, with this being an electronic door, you can't open it unless there's power to the machine. That is the downside to this. You can open it manually if there's an emergency, if there's a power outage and you do want to get your clothes out, for example, or if the machine's broke, then you can get about, don't worry. There are videos of that coming soon on it. The other thing is why I've done this review is because there's a lot of wash races coming up as well, and I will be showing videos of this in action on its own as well, like the quick wash, the Cotton 60 program, Cotton 60 mini load, the mix wash cycle and stuff like that. Right, so where shall we start with? The top panel. Right, so this is the top control panel. We switch it on here, wait it to light up, and then we can open the door by pressing this famous orange button for the door, which has never changed. They've always used this orange button. So ready? Right, so I'm going to show that again in a minute. But anyway, we'll take a look at the top control panel. I'm also going to shut this up as well, just to show you. So when we can select a cycle. So here we've got this little button here. It shows detergent, how much we should be putting in, time remaining, and load. We'll try and reset the load. For some reason it thinks it's got 50% in. Yeah. I kind of do it manually. So this is the only downside with this machine. So this is one downside. The load detection thing is not as good as the Siemens version, like on the IQ that I had. This seems to always want to, after all load's been done, it can sometimes doesn't want to get to 0. Right, so I've reset it now, so there is only, oh no, it's not done it again. So the top panel here, I'll start with this. So turn to cotton 95 and it shows the detergent amount we should be putting in, time left and load size. When it's that little dot there, it means 0, so there's no load registered. And when you load up, it will show you've either loaded 25%, 50% load, 75% load, or 100%. And that's the same for minimum iron, mix wash, quick wash, but for woolens and delicates, it only shows 50% and 100%. That's it. So we've got some options here. We've got soak. We can have up to 6 hours soaking time. It goes up in half an hour steps. We've got a pre-wash function, which is 11 minutes long. We've got an intensive section. Now, did someone notice that there? The light doesn't light up. That has extinguished whilst it's been in my possession for some reason. I don't know why. It's so rare for an LED to stop working, but yeah, it stopped working whenever I used it, then didn't use it for a while. When I plugged it back in, the intensive option stopped working. Right, we've got Water Plus. Now with Water Plus, there's a hidden option menu in this machine where you can adjust the Water Plus to either just add more water just to the wash, more water to wash and rinses, extra rinse only, or extra rinse and more water to wash and rinses. I've got it on stage 4, so we've got more water on the wash and rinses and an extra rinse as well. We've also got a delay start, obviously going up in half an hour steps. I think it goes higher than that, yeah, 10. So you got half an hour steps all the way up to 24 hours. Then we've got variable spin. Now its top wax spin is 1800 RPM. Yep. No, really, 1800 RPM. And it's a brushed motor. It's not an inverter. So we've got variable spin choices of 1800, 1500, 1200, 900, 600 and 400. Now the good thing about Miele is if you select 600 or 400 RPM on the cotton cycle, it will add an extra rinse because the intermediate spins are 1000 RPM. Now if that gets reduced, that means that they're less effective at getting rid of suds. The actual spin helps with getting rid of suds. That's why everything spins at 1000 RPM. That's why everything does about 2 rinses nowadays. We've got a rinse hold option, and then we've got without spin, which also adds an extra rinse, expiring less time. So we've got cotton 695, 75, 60, 40, 30, and then we've got a minimum iron of 60, 50, 40, 30. We've got a drain and spin program, so if you want spin, you can select any of them, and then you can go down to without spin, and that'll just do a drain only. It says 1 minute, but it will actually just drain for as long as it needs, and then it will shut off. That's how advanced it is. We've got a separate rinse and spin. Does a delicate kind of rinse followed by spin. Then we've got starch. then we've got mixed wash poly cotton. So it's a good job it told us what it's for. Later on this was renamed as automatic, but the automatic feature's still here. It's but it's not as advanced. So we've got our variable loads on this. If you load it up to over 50% or 75%, it will then be 54 minutes long and washes cottons. But the spin's limited to 900 RPM no matter what. Obviously you can also mix colours as well, so you can put whites and darks in, and you can put polyester and cottons in all in the same wash. And we've got this, it's the quick wash at 40 degrees. It says 31 minutes, but in actual truth it takes longer than that. It takes around 40 minutes, which is a bit odd really, since all the other timings that I've shown so far, even Cotton 95 with a mini loading really is only 53 minutes long. But the quick wash does a full wax spin, but it's limited to 1500 for some bizarre reason. The maximum the quick wash was ever allowed to go. So if you had a 1600 option, it will still allow you to go up to 1600. Obviously we can't set 1800, so it does it 1500. It probably does it 1600 to be honest. Who knows? Then we've got ones. You can have golds 30 and 40. And then we've got Silk's program at 30, and then we've got Delicate's program at colds 30 or 40. It's got the Easy Care symbol here by Delicate, so presumably for shirts, I don't know. And then finally we've got this list here showing where it's up to in the wash cycle. So I'm just going to do this. So if I press start now, ready? So it comes up with soak, pre-wash. If you want to skip ahead, you can. So you go to finish, it goes to main wash, then to rinses, then to drain, then to final spin, and then finally you'll finish, empty eye to crease and finish. And that's the actual run of the actual cycle. That's actually what happens. It's pretty good. The door option on this, if you can open the door at any point, but if it's spinning, it won't let you do it. And if the wash temperature is above 55 degrees, it won't let you do it either. If the water level is too high, it won't let you do it. And the locked icon will be flashing at you to tell you that you can't open it. There's an excessive detergent thing here. Now, it'll add on an extra rinse if it detects too many suds. We've also got a track drain if it's not draining properly, and checking that if it's not filling with water. That PC code there is... Now, Miele didn't exactly tell people, but you can update these to be more economical later on. Not that you probably want to, because then everything just becomes longer. But yeah, you could get an engineer, pay a fee, and then have your Miele washing machine updated. A Miele call out is 160 quid, so I presume that if you just pay for the call out, then they probably update it, because of course it doesn't cost anything, does it? But nobody actually investigated it, and nobody ever really has ever done it. Same with the AEG stuff, and it's like, yeah. Yeah, our fellow washer enthusiast, Shakira Lover, actually did that with his AEG update machine, and they was like, yeah, well, nobody ever does that, and we don't even know how to. So yeah, Miele probably will do, but they're going to charge you a lot of money for it. I get that Miele are trying to allow you to update it so you never have to replace the machine, for saving waste, which is pretty good and pretty economical and good for the environment. Right, so let's take a look inside our drum here. So press the door to release the door. This door works with a sprung latch there, so when you close it, that gets sprung, and that's why it can fling out when you press it. Right, so inside here we've got our 5kg drum with our Honeycomb Drum design. Now this is patented by Miele, so nobody can copy this design. But it took several years, because this is like 2000. I mean, this machine was 2002 sold, but this model had already been out for a few years. And this was the first of its kind ever to have this honeycomb drum. Of course, now everybody has their own kind of design, one shape, form, or of another. But yeah, the idea is that these tiny little holes here mean less damage and tear on your fabrics, so it's gentler. Also, because these are kind of raised a little bit, it helps with washing. Probably does. We also have a drum light, which is probably original, and we've got this inlet here, so whenever I start a cycle you'll notice water going straight down the door. Now that's a direct fill, it doesn't even go through the door at all, and the idea is that it keeps the door glass clean and the door seal clean and stuff like that. The door seal actually has never been cleaned, believe it or not. I've never cleaned it. Like I said, there was mould growing, so I just wiped the mould away. But even when I received this, despite having, and believe me, there was detergent absolutely in every single crevice going. That's why this is rusted. Look, you can even see the little remains of detergent where I can't get at. It was absolutely everywhere. Right, so the final other thing as well that's obviously down here is your drain flap. Now, it does come with this, but I don't know where it stores in the detergent compartment. It stores in the detergent drawer, but I don't know where it goes. I know it goes in me professional, but this is a different drawer design. Anyway, so we've got our filter there. Now, of course, it's very raised up. Miele did this on purpose. And here's also the emergency door release there. A nice big filter there, meaning that obviously we've got time before it fills up too quickly, so it won't. And we've also got this runoff as well. So that and that, put a bowl there, and hey presto, we've got a nice drain filter there. It was very well designed, and that's the thing with Miele, it's all well designed, it's all part and parcel of Miele. There's no cutting back, except for today. Well, of course they have. However, the only problem I have with Miele is the parts. Our parts are way too expensive because you can only get them from Miele. Second of all, fitting them. This case is sealed, so that means any repairs at all have to be done by taking the entire front off every time. Not my cup of tea. There's no service flap anywhere, so if it needs a belt, you have to take the whole front off. If you want the top off, if you want to change the brushes and get on the motor, you got to take the whole front off. It's not great. Oh well, enough waffling on then. I'm going to load this up. Right, so up here we've got our detergent drawer, we've got our pre-wash, main wash, and fabric softener. Now that means that every time we put fabric softener in, we've got to open this, which is pretty annoying. You can easily take this drawer out and clean it, as I have, and put it back in again, and the drawer is plentiful for all detergents. So it's saying we want 60%, so we're going to want 60%, where is it, on here, of 51ml. It's about 38ml. I guess you're the boss. So there we go, we've got around 40-ish ml. Not putting any fabric softener in. When I hit start, it will automatically go to time left. But I'm going to lower this down. So it instantly starts with this. There's no time delay from pressing the start button. It instantly puts water in through the door. You will hear that buzzing. So it only has one water inlet, and it uses a little motor, I suppose, on the back to change what compartment it's going to fill through, whether that be pre-wash, main wash, fabric softener, or directly through the door. So you always have that buzzing. I've got it on me 2015 Miele Professionals. Nothing's changed. Anyway, so there's an hour 4. It says 50%. The other thing this has is, while it will tell you how long the cycle's going to be based on that load, it might go up. And unfortunately, in many cases on this, it usually does, because unfortunately it's slightly programmed wrong. So when you finally get 100%, you will get the full time. But the trouble is, when you're at 75%, you're actually filling up between 75% and 100%. So I've got to 50% there, so I'm anywhere between 50% and 75%. Of course, the timer works by anything by 75% down to 50%. So, and then, you know, half load's actually less than 50%, not more. And that's one of the problems. So instead, this will be about an hour 20 long, and do 3 rinses instead. Yeah, but if it's got 50% load or less, it will do 2 rinses. And if you put 25% load in, it will actually reduce the water level as well on the rinses. So yeah, it's really advanced. But it's still got flaws. In fact, it's a bit more flawed than the Siemens, I'd say. But there are other things on it that make up more than Siemens, so you watch. take a look then. Smells rather nice. But then, proper fresh, like. So, yeah, it appears that the dosing suggestion is always correct. This. And that's the thing with this Miele. You're always going to get really good results every single time. Right, so what am I going to give this out of 10 then? The fact is, there's a few little things that the Siemens iCube does better, but that isn't that much more. The build quality on this is a proper Miele. Like, literally, this fell on its back the day that we got it. Well, the day I tried to get out of the house that I bought it from, it fell on its back, and it didn't do anything to it. Also, if you notice, it doesn't matter how unbalanced the load is, this machine never seems to vibrate, and the whole structure of the machine just stays absolutely stable. Even when it was the feet weren't actually balanced up properly, it didn't matter. It was fine. So it gets 9.5 out of 10. No, really, I actually think the £1,000 is really worth its money. I'm not saying that it's going to be 5 times more reliable than the Becca next to us there, but Jesus, the actual quality in performance, watch performance wise and stuff like that, next to none there. Brilliant. Right, I'll see you guys again soon. See you now.